Bermuda in a 5-game set. So they're going to be looking to, redeem themselves here as we open into Yijiang Tower. And already we have the game underway, folks. May on the side of Contendies paying some dividends.
All right, Gig, you're starting off exactly like you left the last one, aggressive. Gig does get that first blood. He's going to go down himself. Trades coming both sides. Contendies Buck is going to go down as well. And anytime Buck doesn't go down first, that means that's an improvement for Contendies, because Gig dying first is good for them. Even though he is super aggressive, Buck has had an issue with that throughout the entire season.
Whether on Brigitte or on Sombra, so he's picking the Brigitte flavor this time around. Hopefully Salty's May. This is actually, I think, one of the first times that we've seen Salty play this May. Hopefully he can set him up for a little bit more success, but it's also definitely worth mentioning Uprising Academy having, parted ways with Hypnot, will now be playing with Chain, previously of Montreal.
Yeah, and so Chain can find himself on Uprising Academy. We're going to see his first Earth Shatter, and it's got to be a good one. Contendies are going to have to go back to spawn once again. This is exactly how Uprising Academy wanted to start this off.
Exactly. You can't control what's going to happen later on in the series, but if you can start control with a bang, then you're already, well, 1/3 of the way there for Uprising Academy, who will now have not only the rally and the transcendence for emergency situations, but Iced very close to that grab, which is what Uprising are really hoping for sooner rather than later.
Walk on to this point with the rally, but there's a ton online for Uprising Academy. Ice has that Graviton surge. Is Salty going to use that wall? Really well, actually. Contendies going to get that first hit. Lessard is going to take over the entire space. The Graviton surge is going to keep Chicken Contendies from actually doing anything, along with Punk's self-destruct. Chicken Contendies are going to have to try one more time, and this is a really great time to say that Punk, even though that Uprising Academy do find themselves with one win, I do say that Punk and Swimmer are probably the most consistent players of this team, and they're going to need these two members of this team to perform tonight.
I would agree wholeheartedly, Boop. A Transcendence from Dino to save Chain's life caught in that Blizzard is pretty big investment, but now he has a Shatter. In fact, Uprising Academy throwing everything they had at Contendies, so while they are now at 90%, Contendies probably going to take this.
Oh, Gig gets a Shatter canceled since Contendies. Well, actually, it isn't just canceled. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure I saw the wind-up go down, but my eyes are deceiving me. Chicken Contendies now do get to use that Earth Shatter. Harblue going to be able to get that grab through. Chicken Contendies finally find themselves a fight, but unfortunately it's at 99. But fortunately for them, looking on the other side, there's not a ton online for Uprising Academy, so there's going to be a little bit of time for Chicken Contendies to accrue some points.
Exactly. Uprising Academy knew that they could take the point cap to 99. Don't try and be a hero here. As long as we get that threshold, we're going to be doing all right, because Contendies used themselves every ultimate they had in the bank, and now Iced will have a decided advantage moving into this next fight, as long as he can get his whole team through this choke in one piece.
Ooh, Chain going to be going down, so Chicken Contendies find themselves with a 6v5, and with the DMAC basically got really close to those ultimates because of this singular fight. The way this works is that choke is so hard to get through. You tend to need to use ultimates.
Exactly, and so Uprising Academy didn't want to invest a Grav into a potentially, sloppy, lost fight, and so they, gave a bit of that ultimate charge to Contendies. Hopefully it won't come and bite them in that booty now that they do have the space to engage on the point itself.
And so they're going to go ahead and do just that. Lessard goes down. 3 members of Chicken Contendies on the ground. The CC is absolutely insane coming from Uprising Academy, who are on
fire.
To win this. Yeah, that would work as well. We're on tap and on fire to win this round. Uprising Academy, this is exactly what you need if you're an Uprising Academy fan going into this next round. We actually haven't really quite seen Uprising Academy with that kind of energy since we saw them on Control last week. And while they started off well last week, we all know how that ended with a loss against Bermuda. But now that Gladiators Legion also lost to Bermuda, that's not as big of a scuff on that armor, right?
I don't know. 2 Academy teams losing to Bermuda still kind of feels bad. Or it feels good if you're a Bermuda fan. But regardless, Chain absolutely injecting some energy, much needed energy, into this Uprising Academy team. Last week they were playing with a sub Decod, another very experienced main tank. But so far they seem to be finding some really good synergy with Chain, who didn't have a real chance to play while he was on Montreal Rebellion. So not bad that he's able to shine here now with Uprising Academy as, again, a big charge, aggressive, confident into the square here as we let her rip and night.
It doesn't matter what banner you're playing for, right? If you're performing well, people will see. Chicken Contendies now going to be attacking Uprising Academy. They actually took a little bit more space, but that means the Amped Up's probably not going to be up in time before Uprising Academy try to take a little bit more, but Chain is super low, and so is Punk. So Chicken Contendies are going to be able to potentially just walk onto the objective, take it, let Uprising Academy come through, but they're deciding to be aggressive. That's probably Gig's idea. First down are going to go ahead and go down. Aggressive indeed. Gig. The gig, right?
He's the gig that keeps giving.
Yes.
And I don't know. I think it's, I just really enjoy Gig's playstyle because it's like, it's okay, guys. I'm going to get this shatter. Like, I'm leaving you a present of like 5 shattered Uprising Academy members, but I myself, sayonara. I'll see you on the respawn.
It's Uprising Academy. You're going to have to try to attack this point offensively as Chicken Contendies were able to grab it. Uprising Academy do have a self-destruct bomb combo potentially. Grab is going to isolate just a single member. Ice will be going down, and that's a really good example of how a grab doesn't need 5 members to be effective.
Exactly. A single kill is usually well worth it. Salty throwing out the self-destruct. If there was anybody left alive for it to catch, probably would have, but as it stands, again, Chicken Tendies not really metering their ultimates very well. They do have those 2 support ultimates left, but Uprising Academy ready to come in here with all 4.
So their shatter goes down from it. Chain, RobDab actually finds himself stunned, and the Transcendence is just not going to come, I guess, for Gig. Chicken Contendies is taking the lost. What kind of thinking do you think Chicken Contendies was going through in that situation? Because RobDab, new member of Chicken Contendies, by the way, held on to that trance.
Yeah, he did. I actually wasn't quite able to see. It could have been that he knew he wasn't going to be able to reach Gig in time, or knowing that the re-engage will be that much more comfortable for Chicken Tendies as Uprising Academy are currently functioning without Iced.
Earthshatter's going both ways. Jinxie only a Coke. Uprising Academy, though, are going to find more members on the ground and more members back at spawn. Chicken Contendies are looking primed to flip this right back.
Exactly. Chicken Tendies with that very quick re-engage, recognizing Uprising Academy not going to have a ton of damage without their Zarya on the field. So now things have been flipped once again, but Chicken Tendies with a decided advantage, nearly 70%. So if Harborloo gets a good grab right here and you get 1 member of Uprising Academy, you've already won.
And so Gig already gets a good pick even before the grab even makes its appearance. And so Chicken Contendies at 80% are going to have to take another fight from Uprising Academy. So with these staggers, people might be lagging behind on the next attack.
Yeah, especially since Dino tried to go for that Savior Transcendence, and now Uprising Academy not going to be able to zoom Yada their way onto the point. Punk going to get demeched en route. Oh, and that's not the kind of sick pagoda grind you're hoping for.
No, that is a grade D pagoda grind, if I say so myself. Winter Olympics were a long time ago. Just saying. And so
never forget.
100 Owl. And now round 2 complete is 1-1. Uprising Academy and Chicken Contendies are going to leave it all on this round. Uprising Academy and Chicken Contendies will most likely be using these comps coming out of spawn. It's been a little bit of give and take between these 2 teams, with Chicken Contendies in most control on that last round. Uprising Academy on Control Center finding themselves in the lead. Let's see how it's going to go this time around.
I wonder if that, Uprising Academy take on Control Center could at least be given to the fact that Salty was trying to work the Mei for quite some time. Now that Chicken Tendies are, just pure goats versus pure goats, this is where we've really, learned to grow and learn to love this team with their scrappy kind of silly goats play here. No fight is over until everybody's dead. So Gig, though, and Salty both getting taken very low.
So Swimmer going to have to use that Amped Up, and he's going to speed his team around and potentially flank them through the back, but Salty going to get the pick on it to Dino. Swimmer maybe a little bit too far ahead of his team there, playing a little individualistically on that Lucio. Because there was there is a world where Uprising Academy follow Swimmer, get behind the Diva, but that just didn't happen. I think maybe he was going for a boop as well, but it didn't work. So Uprising Academy are going to lose that on this cap.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate right there. You miss every play you don't go for, but in that case, the boop did not come. So Gig now ready with that shatter, and regardless of where Uprising Academy try and re-engage, Salty's back in mech, so they're going to be facing the full brunt of this Chicken Contendies team, and they are well stocked. Look at all those ultimates coming online.
Gig actually playing really well right now, not being overly aggressive just yet, and he's going to get that first blood here. The Earthshatter is going to make things a little bit more interesting. There just aren't enough members of Uprising Academy to follow up on some good CC coming from Uprising Academy, but Chicken Contendies will be keeping this point. They're going to get close to 50% before this next fight.
Yeah, exactly, and they maintain those ultimates. So that's the all-important, currency that GOAT's compositions trade in, right? So Uprising Academy, they did, give up Chain's Earthshatter, which was a quality shatter, but that Transcendence from Rob Dab just nullified all of the damage incoming. Now, Uprising Academy do make their free way onto the point.
And Gig with the overshields and the ally barriers is going to insert himself into the middle of the Uprising Academy sub-sandwich that they presented to him. Chicken Contendies loves eating, as they're going to add a little salt too. 3 kills coming from Salty. Chicken Contendies looking so good. Seeing how this goes, they probably only need 1 fight before they win it all.
Yeah, this is some very well-seasoned chicken right here, Salty, making sure of that. Buck will have rally most likely in this next fight, but if Uprising Academy manage to flip the point, it's got to be now or never. They have that bomb combo at the ready, but it has to work because no support ultimates, no sustain for Uprising for this longer fight.
And so Uprising Academy going to walk in, Chain leading the way. The shield is up, and now so is the Graviton Surge, and they're doing what they need to do. A lot of Chicken Contendies is low. Uprising Academy finalized this fight with that self-destruct coming from Punk. Uprising Academy now need to win every fight from here on out if they want to try to win this map.
There's that boop displacement from Swimmer, able to, hurl Zolik into that self-destruct. So Uprising Academy can breathe, but only for the next few seconds, as they're starting from 0. Chain, though, ready with this Earthshatter. If he can land a big one, hopefully his team this time around will be ready to surge in, have his back, and capitalize on those kills.
The Uprising Academy are in a position where every ult needs to be big in order to maintain their place on the objective, and this one is going to knock Gig onto the ground. Was unable to chew through that armor. Salty, though, going to be the next one taken pretty low, and D-Mech. So Uprising Academy do find themselves in an advantageous position for this particular fight. Without that mech on Chicken Contendies and without that extra beef, it's just easy for Chain to go into their faces, swing that hammer.
Exactly. Chicken Tendies getting a little bit separated right there. Salty got demeched very early on, and so he was a vulnerable baby diva. Chain saw that opportunity, just waltzed into the Chicken Tendies backline and was able to get all of those hammer kills, and now will be over 50% to his next shatter. However, Chicken Tendies themselves will have that ultimate already procced, as well as Harblu's grab. So Uprising Academy, Dino cannot pop this trance too early.
Man, Heist actually putting in some good damage with those grenades. As the Earthshatter going to knock a couple onto the ground onto Uprising Academy. No kills just yet. Sound Barrier was also already used. Uprising Academy are going to go ahead and invest every single thing outside of the Earthshatter. Swimmer going to get that first kill, but there's a return kill on the other side. Uprising Academy found themselves with a 5v4. This pin's going to make it even better for them. The Transcendence was there to try to save Salty and the mech, but at this point, Harblu isn't going to get any of the heals either. And so the Transcendence not able to get the team on Chicken Contendies, and that is very good example of how you're not supposed to play GOATs.
And now Gig finds himself in a very awkward spot, booped off in the big drink now, courtesy of Swimmer. Oh no! Walls. Ugh. Can't live with him, can't live without him. Am I right?
That was way funnier than I thought it should have been. I thought that was a really funny joke.
I mean, Hammond trying to swing in here, being hero. We're going to keep it alive, guys. But unfortunately, that will be, hey, man, walls, right? Just saying.
Uprising Academy do take that in the end. They ended up not losing another fight, coming back from a 99-0 deficit, and they do win out on Li Zhang. 1-0 now is the scoreline for them. Chicken Contendies, a lot of our Path to Pro teams do this. We actually saw it with Bermuda. Even though they did end up winning that series, it actually maybe could have avoided a Game 5 if they were able to finalize their advantages, right? Push their advantages a little bit more.
Cross the T, dot the I, you know, and it's such a hard and fine line to tread, right? So because we all, as, you know, talent and as viewers, have the advantage of that top-down view a lot of the time. So you can be like, oh, look at that positioning, look at that barrier usage. But when you're in the thick of things, so many particle effects, you're getting booped, you're getting CC'd, you're getting stunned, you're getting bubbled, right? It's very hard to keep just simply keep your awareness of your surroundings, right? So, you know, when you see those teams getting separated, it's definitely a mark of a younger team, but something that is to be expected. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we are 6 weeks in, and Chicken Contendies have arguably one of the most stable rosters in Contenders. We have had Hard Blue go in and out for a very good reason, but Chicken Contendies coming in here, and we're already seeing why this game wasn't a surefire thing for Uprising Academy. Chicken Contendies has challenged almost every single person that they have faced, including Fusion University, right? Who, you know, did just lose today, but a couple weeks ago, Chicken Contendies had an amazing game against that team, and they gave Alarm, actually, this is a weird sentence, Chicken Contendies gave Alarm some issues, particularly on maps 2 and 3, by running a Sombra. So I wonder if they're going to be able to potentially run a Sombra this time around. I don't know who would be playing it because it was Jai doing it back then, and he was really good, probably the best Sombra on that team.
Yeah, undoubtedly. It was a very interesting mix for Chicken Tendies in that moment, but you're totally right. I mean, focusing down Alarm, and even if you can't kill him, just get him out of position, make him super uncomfortable, force him out of the fights because he needs healing, right? And it's all about isolating and recognizing the most important parts, those pillars of your opponents. And right now, Chicken Tendies, you know, still just kind of, you know, warming up. You can watch the VODs, you can practice and scrim, of course, but there is just something that can't be replaced in facing your opponent on tournament day, on match day, head to head. So Eichenwald, certainly a map type where we see a lot of Sombra run, more on the streets phase than this initial point. But we see Pharahs, we see Sombras, maybe a little Genji. I don't know, Zolik. I think Chicken Tendies might need some of your heals. But Uprising Academy for themselves going with, you know, just that Reinhardt Ghost. No Winston Monkey shenanigans.
And so, Uprising Academy are going to start things off on the defensive side. Chicken Contendies going to go ahead and run that Goats, and they came out of trials over 6 weeks ago as one of the better Goats teams. And so let's see, like, that has definitely gotten better over the last 6 weeks as well. Gig, I think, one of the more improved players on this team, too, along with the Bucks, to be completely honest with you. Chicken Contendies now in at this fight. Gig getting taken low, and you're seeing that aggressiveness kind of give and take a little bit there.
Exactly. He was able to find a kill before falling himself, and as the attackers, that's certainly worth it for Chicken Contendies as Uprising Academy now scrambling desperately to try and find some semblance of a defense, at least to just try and draw things out a little longer, wear down that time bank. But as it stands, that will be Chicken Tendies capturing point in their very first push, and that aggressiveness, that go get itness from Gig certainly paying off.
It was exactly that whole, all right, guys, see you later.
Yeah, I'm going to get one kill. I'll meet you on the other side of respawn.
We're both saluting right now, like off camera, right? Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. And recently it's been working more times than not. They did capture that first point off the back of that good aggressive play. Shane, though, is ahead on ult charge for now, and Earth Shatters are going to be available for both sides. Salty going to go ahead and throw kind of like a lame self-destruct there. The arc there might have not been as high, but hey, same value. One kill, but Gig gonna get taken down by his counterpart on the other side. Now we have that Graviton Surge. Klaus and the rest of Uprising Academy taken low. I don't see Chicken Contendies losing this out.
No, they do win the fight, but they haven't earned a ton of distance on this payload. Swimmer was actually on that cart the entire fight, contesting, making sure that they weren't going to see some kind of, you know, sneaking of the meterage. But as it stands here, Chicken Tendies feeling pretty good after they make their way out of the portcullis, one of the most difficult chokes to come out of into this streets phase. But Uprising Academy, you know, expended some ultimates there, but iced very close to his own grab. Swimmer ready with that sound barrier, so it's just a question of when Uprising Academy want to face Tendies.
And so they're going to face him right here, right now. Dino's in the back line, actually on the ground. Chicken Contendies deciding not to push their, positioning to the limit there. And they're going to go ahead and reset and create that neutral zone off the payload. And now Graviton Surge is on the back side. Zolik is down already, 6v5 now for Uprising Academy. Chicken Contendies will have to try to get back onto this payload. Uprising Academy do find that defense.
Klaus, one of the members of Uprising Academy, to fall, and actually no, Chain goes down as well. Transcendence from Robdap to tempo this fight for Chicken Tendies. Oh, and the big slam just to try and confirm things.
Ladies and gentlemen, I spoke too soon. Chicken Contendies came back with reckless abandon. Uprising Academy did push them off. They got those kills, but they did not expect that re-engage to happen so quickly. They got caught with both of their shoelaces tied.
Yeah, pants down, a whole kit and caboodle. Did not look very good, and now Uprising Academy, having expended their support ultimates in the earlier fight, will have to try for a desperation defense, but Chain down, the only ultimate online gone for Uprising, and be a pretty comfortable point B cap for Tendies.
It was almost uncomfortable for them, as Uprising Academy did find a numbers advantage, but they do end up ceding this second point with over 4.5 minutes. Eichenwald's Streets phase can last a very long time, and as the defensive team, you want it to, but unfortunately for Uprising Academy, they have let Chicken Contendies into the final portion of Eichenwald, as Earthshatter is going to be coming both ways, but only one is going to make contact with the ground, and that is going to be Chicken Contendies. But they did lose the lick. They are going to get kills in the latter half of this fight and maintain their advantage on the payload. Looking at Uprising Academy, this next fight is pretty even.
But it's going to be very difficult because they don't have any distance to give. So this grab might not have a ton of setup. This bomb might not have a ton of setup. But Iced and Punk have pulled some crazy wins out of their pants before.
So Chicken Yep, it's the Chicken Contendies now with Salty and that self-destruct. Oh, it's going to be a little... Oh! I held on for a second because I did get that double kill. Anything can happen now. Punk has evened it up, and with trades, Uprising Academy are going to feel good on the defensive side. They just got to cross their T's and dot their I's, just like we were talking about with Chicken Contendies. They're writing in cursive right now, and I'm not sure they know cursive that well, but it is legible. Uprising Academy are able to get this defense, but it could have been cleaner. Chicken Contendies are going to try one more time, but they've got a ton of time on the clock, Ham.
Exactly. Uprising Academy kind of won that fight off the back of the strength of their defensive respawns, and that's not something that you can count on in every single fight. So hoping to see maybe a little bit more, of that coordination from Uprising Academy, especially because, again, their backs are against the wall. They can't back off and just wait for Tendies' rally to subside, for example. They got to make things happen themselves.
And so the Transcendence is going to come from Robdap before any ultimates appear from Uprising Academy. There is no Graviton Surge from Uprising Academy, so it's good news for Chicken Contendies. Graviton Surge coming from the Tendies side is not going to do anything. Sound Barrier is now out. Gig has already used all of that Overshield, needs to get healed up with that armor pack. And the positioning is actually really good for Chicken Contendies right now. They've been able to separate Uprising Academy into two different groups, and it's going to work out for them. They're very close to completing this map.
A bomb on the top trying to zone, and actually finds Robdab a little bit unlucky there for that Zenyatta, but Punk himself is gone. Swimmer's body, just a dream, a little bit of an ethereal imagination, as the Hammond also gets taken off the cart.
It looks like a couple times Chicken Contendies are like, why haven't we won this just yet? There's a big ball behind you, my friends. Chicken Contendies now still haven't wrapped this up. This is some good stall coming from Uprising Academy. Even though Chicken Contendies do take this, they lose about 15 to 30 seconds because of that stall, and when we see this next attack, let's see the difference in that time bank. And I almost said time clock again. Yeah, that's why I stuttered. Yeah,
I could tell. Yeah,
yeah, definitely. But now that they have a minute and 55 seconds, that's not terrible for Uprising Academy, but Eichenwald can be stopped before the third point, can be stopped on Streets phase. They're going to need a clean offensive push to finish this off.
Exactly. It's, we've seen the effect of having just 1 second on the time bank in just our very last series with Montreal Rebellion, right? If there had been time on the bank, who knows? We might have gone into extra innings, and that's another whole bit of theory crafting.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, 1 second did determine an extra push for a team, as one team got a minute and another team got a minute and 59 seconds. I think it was Bermuda. It was with Gladiators Legion. Yep. And so now that we're here, like, that time management is so important important Chicken Contendies get that 1 minute and 55 seconds in their time bank. Let's see what Uprising Academy are going to be able to do to attempt to match that. This first point, in order to do it, in my opinion, needs to go pretty quickly.
I would say so, especially since Chicken Tendies themselves took it in the very first push, right? So to give yourself the best shot, you're going to be hoping to match your opponents. But regardless, even if Uprising Academy take almost the entire time to capture point A, if they roll out of that with 6 ultimates, they're probably going to set a pretty good pace on Streets phase. So it's all about that give and take. You have to look forward into the future just slightly. But as it stands, our future is just going to be some more goats v goats, and Punk taking a gander, no birds flying in the sky.
It's just another good old day on this Overwatch farm where our goats and our chickens all hang out together in holy matrimony.
I was going to say perfect
apparently.
harmony, because that doesn't happen.
Fights going on, though. 5v5 now. Klaus and Gig are taken out. Punk has taken away his counterpart there. Some really good focus coming from him. Punk has definitely been a bright spot for this Uprising Academy team that are on potentially the brink of grabbing this first point, maybe waiting for one more member. Chicken Contendies waiting for a couple more. Actually, we're going to see a full reset.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, losing your diva compared to taking somebody else's Zarya is a big advantage, right? While you do lose that defense matrix mitigation, that means the enemy team's not going to have any damage without their Zarya. But Uprising Academy now have fully reset coming back in here. Dino very close to the trance.
Yeah, Salty trying to get to the back line and boot them all away. Punk trying to do the exact same thing, but needs to cede enough space to make it behind the shield, because while he was booping and bopping, he was taking a ton of damage. And Chicken Contendies find themselves another defense. This is starting to look a little scary for Uprising Academy, who definitely need to kind of get it going here in terms of their offensive capabilities.
Yeah, Uprising Academy is one of those teams that sometimes has a hard time shifting out of neutral. So Chicken Tendies have been doing a pretty good job of focusing down who I would consider Uprising Academy's weakest member, Klaus. We give Buck a really hard time about dying first on Brig, but Klaus has been the first one to fall on Uprising.
Lessard are going to go around the shield. It looks like a curve, but it's going to make some contact. Lessard coming around the other side, though, is going to neck 40 onto the ground. Uprising Academy have their best option right here, right now. It's going to be a couple more minutes before they find another opportunity like this. The Chicken Contendies are going to be able to grab it. I'm going to take back everything I said. I expected Uprising Academy to invest a little bit more into that fight, but since Chicken Contendies invested so much, Uprising Academy are actually going to find themselves another really great opportunity on this next one, but man, they're kind of just holding on by the skin of their teeth right now. They have to win this next one, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was actually not too bad from Uprising Academy to not panic in that moment, pop any, you know, ultimates, because Klaus died so early on. And Chicken Tendies themselves served up Uprising Academy a very good opportunity. You can see Ice trying to gain that energy. He wants to grab.
And so now their Shatter is going to be coming through. 3 members of Uprising Academy onto the ground, but Salty's going to eat the grab. That's not going to be available for Uprising Academy any longer. Chicken Contendies win out a fight with, I believe, just 1 ultimate based on their just regular cooldowns. Uprising Academy invested almost everything into it. The only member with that ultimate from the previous fight is Punk, but Ice is going to get the kill onto Gig, and that's the type of Gig we don't want to see. That's when that over-aggressiveness really goes into the pocket of the other team. At that point, you're just feeding ultimate and yourself up. You need to seed that space, and was out of range from that Amp It Up as well to race back to the objective that they end up losing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, at any time you misposition yourself like that, you're serving your opponents up an opportunity to punish you. And it was up to Uprising Academy as to whether or not they capitalized, and that time around they did. However, that stagger kill onto Ice means that Chicken Tendies again own these spawn doors.
Gig gonna go ahead and try to get that Shatter through. Does get the kill on it to Klaus, and the rest of the team is going to follow it up. Chicken Contendies getting that spawn camping in here on Eichenwald, something you don't see every day.
Exactly, and Chicken Tendies right now just really pushing their advantage. You can tell if Uprising Academy got a little bit too comfortable, allowed their Zarya to get picked off. That is not something you can do against a team like Tendies.
Oh man, this is not a fight you see out here while the first point has already been taken, but Chicken Contendies asserting their dominance right now. Just this inordinate amount of aggression is something that Uprising Academy is obviously not used to. They've been able to take a lot of time off the clock for Uprising Academy just by doing this kind of defense. Chicken Contendies looking strong.
Exactly. Contendies right now still just finally giving up that space, but not because they want to, but because they're like, okay, maybe two's enough. Is two enough? Nope. Salty goes in for that drive-by again. Harblu nearly has yet another grab.
And so Gig gonna use another Earth Shatter, has it pretty much on pulled down. Sound Barrier's gonna go through as well, but Uprising Academy are gonna be unable to win another fight.
Yeah, this is starting to get in very dangerous territory for Uprising Academy. You're below 2 minutes now, so Iced, who's at 39% to the grab, will really have the pressure put on him to earn that ultimate fast. A quality professional Zarya can find a grab within a minute, but then that means you only have one shot at this fight.
He doesn't want to go 8 miles, my friends. Sticking Contendies now with those picks. Hey, the one fight, you don't want to blow your chance, right? So Uprising Academy might have to walk all 8 miles to the payload because that's how far it feels like it is for them.
Yeah, indeed. And remember, Contendies have finished the entire map, so Uprising Academy looking at a very long, drawn-out fight to get that completion regardless.
Well, and the fact, if Contendies lose this fight, that's fine, depending on how much time you have on the clock, but they're not losing the fight. We have not seen a spawn camp here on Ichabod like this. I don't remember.
I mean, a spawn camp of this length. Klaus even used the rally in that fight just to try and escort his team out of the spawn. Iced just now close to 90% to the grab, but Harblu is sniffing. He's looking.
They made it out of spawn,
no.
but it's good. Volley from Rob Deb is going to go ahead and take down Dino. That might be the go-ahead kill for Contendies for this offensive push on Uprising Academy. 30 seconds left for them.
Yeah, Uprising Academy waffling right now. It seems that every option is not a good option, but you must do something. Harblu is going to grab them, undoubtedly. Dino will have to use this trance, but you might not even be able to touch the cart.
Air Shatter's gonna go down. Chain is out of the fight already, but finally Uprising Academy do find themselves some picks, but they are at a numbers disadvantage. This hammer from Gig is ripping Uprising Academy to shreds. Wow. Wow, my friends. Contendies do not stop overtime just yet. They maybe relax a little too soon. Overtime Wick still going. If Contendies lose out on some members here, Uprising Academy have an opening, but they are functioning with one less member. Contendies now were so good at holding on to the payload. It is right next to their spawn. It has not moved a single inch just yet, and Contendies will keep it. I do not know if that payload moved at all during this round so far for Contendies, as Ice switching to the Bastion just because of some desperation tactics, but does get to that ultimate.
Oh, gets stunned out of it immediately. Still alive, though, through some kind of miracle. Gets stunned here because as well as Uprising Academy have been earning their ultimates, Contendies have already had their shatter at the ready. Robdag fragging, Gig having the time of his life, but it, again, is not over just yet. Uprising Academy relying on those defensive spawns, which will eventually run out.
Yeah, this has been a little bit of a fiesta. Someone invited some clowns around, and we've got this amazing fight here on the payload. It's almost like the first point never was taken. We're still here on this pretty much first point objective. Contendies has maintained a numbers advantage this entire time, but since the payload is so close, Uprising Academy were able to delay for so long. That was like assault type of feelings there because the point was so close.
Exactly. The cart did manage to get to the portcullis, but then it just receded back so far. And I was about to say, how did Uprising Academy manage to start overtime? They're nowhere near the gate. Oh, the cart has just fallen back so far that they only need to walk like 2 steps before they touch it.
It almost looked like a part of the environment,
I know,
right?
you're
At
just
that
like,
point in
what's
time.
that huge thing, right?
Yeah, right in the middle of the objective.
That's what my mom always used to say when she saw me.
Well, I'm glad you listened to more advice from your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so,
yeah, but I mean, the thing with Uprising Academy is that they tried, a bunch of different routes. A lot of times we talk about teams like, quit smashing your head against the wall, try something new. But for Uprising Academy, I mean, their own front door was the killing field, right? And they left, not a good option. Right, also not a good option. It just seemed like they never made a hard decision, right? When it was a Transcendence, it was a trance to save, 4 of the teammates caught in a grab over there. Right, and it may have been better for Uprising Academy to literally just bank up all 6 ultimates and blow the doors off of that spawn and explode onto the field because, as it were, Contendies did not lose control of that round the entire time.
Uprising Academy played Contendies games for about 2.5 minutes there at the very end with that spawn camp, but we're tied 1-1. remember, everybody, Uprising Academy need a victory here to avoid relegation. Everything is tied 1-1 right now, so we're going to see our final playoff spots get seeded out after this break. We'll see you